Welcome back. All right, it is currently 1:40 in the morning. This is why I don't go to hockey games. This is why people are like, hey, why don't you go to Seattle for a game? Because this is about when I'd be starting a review if I went to Seattle for a game. If we're driving home that night, and yeah, the logistics of it just, but the concert was worth it. So, wearing a t-shirt of one of the bands I saw tonight. It was fantastic. Hailstorm was amazing. Evanescence, worth waiting the 20 years to see. I'm breaking my rule kind of tonight. So I'm wearing a Columbus hat in honor of the ceremony they had before tonight's home game between Columbus and Florida, which made the result seem a lot less important. So let's go ahead and dive in. We'll start off with the Vancouver Canucks and the Tampa Bay Lightning. And Vancouver apparently played a good game, but the result didn't go their way. In the first period, Kucherov scores from Radish and Point at 3:35, so that makes it 1-0 for Tampa Bay. In the second period, Tampa Bay adds to the lead. It's Braden Point from Gensel and McDonough at 7:43. In the third period, they add to it again. It is Cirelli from Hagel and Paul at 39 seconds, so that first minute of the period. Vancouver would answer on a power play at 4:14. Garland from Besser and DeBrusk. But the Canucks pull the goaltender down by 2, which leads to an empty netter. Hagel from Paul and Cirelli at 18:14. With the 4-1 win tonight, Tampa Bay goes to 2-0. Vancouver drops to 0-1-2. And now they have to go to Florida. It doesn't get easier for Vancouver from here. It just doesn't. The schedule is relentless. Shots on net, 13-7 Tampa in the first. Vancouver outshoots Tampa 9-5 in the second, 11-10 in the third. Final shots, 28-27 Tampa. Power plays, Vancouver 1 for 3. Tampa Bay 0 for 5. So at least the penalty kill was good for Vancouver tonight. The hits, 22-13 for Vancouver. Shilov's saved 24 out of 27. Vasilevsky saved 26 out of 27, which is the difference here. Your 3 stars in this game, Braden Point, Andrei Vasilevsky, and Nikita Kucherov. According to Money Puck's deserved win-o-meter, Vancouver comes in at a 67%. That is one of the highest percentages of a team that does not win tonight. So, some bad luck for Vancouver. It gets tough, though, because you lose a game like this, it's really frustrating, and you start squeezing your stick a little bit harder, you start trying to force plays, and it can just snowball from here. So, Rick Tocchet's going to have to figure this out. We'll see how things go from here, but Tampa Bay wins 4-1. Next up, Vegas and Washington. So the Vegas Golden Knights are no longer one of the undefeated teams in the National Hockey League. The Washington Capitals, no longer a winless team in the National Hockey League. So it's 6 minutes and 2 seconds into the first period. Jacob Vrana in his first game of the season, first game back with the Caps, he scores. Mangiapane with the assist. But before the period's out, Vegas would answer. On the power play, it's Olofsson from Hurdle and Stone at 17:49. It's 1-1 after 1. Second period, the Capitals had a pretty good period of hockey. At 3:08 on the power play, Wilson scores from Strome and Ovechkin, and then at 5:16, Protas scores from Ovechkin, which gives Ovechkin 700 assists. He has 700 goals, 700 assists. There are 6 players in National Hockey League history who have had 700 or more goals and assists in their career. So quite the career for Ovechkin. That's another reason to throw him in the Hall of Fame, other than the million other reasons we have. Chychrun would then add one less than a minute later at 6:13 from Dowd and Carlson. So 3 periods within about, 3 minutes and 5 seconds of each other put this at a 4-1 game. Eichel would answer a little over a minute later for the Vegas Golden Knights, of course. Stone and Barbashev with the assists. So Stone had a couple of helpers. There's no scoring in the third period. Washington wins this one 4-2. They go to 1-1 on the season. Vegas drops to 3-1. Shots on net, 7 apiece in the first, 12-7 Washington in the second, 12-3 Vegas in the third. Final shots, 26-22 for the Vegas Golden Knights. The power plays, Vegas 1 for 4, Washington 1 for 3. The hits, 24-9 for Washington. I remember when Vegas was a big hitting club in the NHL. They're not at this point. Aiden Hill, 18 saves on 22 shots. Logan Thompson, the former Vegas Golden Knights goaltender, saves 24-26. And he gets into the 3 stars. Your 3 stars being Ovechkin, Chychrun, and Thompson. And there's something else fun here, OCT, so October. There you go, that's why they did that. Washington, 81.6% on the deserved win-o-meter. So, rough night for Vegas, but it's a road trip, and Washington needed the win, so there you go. We'll see what happens from here on the rest of this road trip for the Vegas Golden Knights. Next up, New Jersey and Carolina. So Carolina no longer winless on the season. This is how that works. You know, winless streaks don't last that long. The undefeated streaks at the start of the season normally don't last that long either. So in this one, there's no scoring in the first period. And honestly, from what I've been seeing, this game was pretty close. Second period, Jack Hughes opens the scoring for New Jersey. Bratton Kovacevic with the assists at 1:16. Kovacevic getting points. Jarvis would answer at 10:55 from Svechnikov, and then in the final minute of the second period, Gostisbehere puts Carolina ahead at 19:23 from Necas and Kokaniemi. So it's 2-1 Carolina after 2. Third period, Jackson Blake, I believe this is his first NHL goal. Good for him. Orlov with the assist at 10:16, so that makes it 3-1. New Jersey would answer on the power play. Nico Hischier from Jack Hughes and Brad at 15:16, so exactly 5 minutes after Carolina makes it a 2-goal lead. New Jersey tightens it up. They would pull the goaltender. Carolina hits the empty net. It's Aho from Slavin and Martinook at 18:24. The final score in this one's 4-2. Carolina goes to 1-1 on the season. New Jersey drops to 4-2. Shots on net, 8-7 Carolina in the first, 13-7 Carolina in the second, 11-10 New Jersey in the third. Final shots, 31-25 for Carolina. Power plays, New Jersey 1 for 3, Carolina 0 for 1. The hits, 25-19 for New Jersey. Markstrom saved 27 out of 30, and Kochetkov saves 23 out of 25. The 3 stars, Blake with his first NHL goal as a first star, Gostisbehere and Jarvis, the other 2 stars. On the deserved to win-o-meter, again from Money Puck, 56.4% for Carolina. So the right team wins here, and here, not so much here, and definitely not so much here. But let's go ahead and jump into that one. So, Columbus at home against Florida. Emotional preseason ceremony. Johnny Gaudreau's widow giving a very nice speech. I did watch some of the highlights when I got home tonight. Normally I don't necessarily, but tonight I thought, no, I knew this was a big one, and then there was something big happen in this one too, so I had to see that. But yeah, nice ceremony. Everybody for Florida and Carolina wearing number 13 Gaudreau jerseys for a warm-up. There were players in the Florida lineup who, of course, knew Johnny Gaudreau, and Matthew Tkachuk releasing a statement because he didn't play in this game. He's dealing with illness, and so he released a very nice statement about Gaudreau and how they'll be teammates forever. And honestly, you know, great ceremony. There's no scoring in the first period. Only the 14 shots in the first period. I can imagine it was tough for both teams to really get into the swing of playing. The other nice thing was they let the first 13 seconds roll off the clock. So, again, in honor of Johnny Gaudreau. Second period, we get to the hockey. A shorthanded goal by Columbus. It's Sillinger from Kent Johnson at 41 seconds, but Florida gets it back. Lundell scores from Reinhart at Schmidt at 10:25. Less than a minute later, Columbus gets the lead back, and it's Monahan, who, of course, strong ties to Johnny Gaudreau. He gets a goal from Chinikov and Marchenko at 11:22. Chinikov's had a good start to the season. And then a little over 30 seconds later, Florida gets it back. Kulikov from Mikkola and Lundell at 11:59. Towards the end of the period, almost the end of the period at 19:58, Sam Reinhart scores from Verhaeghe and Bennett. So it's 3-2 for Florida after 2. Third period, 15 minutes and 12 seconds in, Luostarinen scores. He gets a goal from Reinhart and Mikkola. Columbus would get that back. Van Riemsdyk scores from Severson and LeBanc at 17:21, but that's as close as Columbus gets. They lose this one 4-3. They drop to 1-2 on the season. Florida goes to 3-2 with the win. The shots on net, 8-6 Florida in the first, and then in the second and third, it's all Columbus really shot-wise. 16-8 in the second and 16-6 in the third. The final shots, 38-22 for the Blue Jackets. Power plays, Florida 0 for 3, Columbus 0 for 2. The hits, 25-17 for Florida. Spencer Knight saved 35 out of 38. Huge bounce-back game for him after an ugly game the last time out. Merzlikins saves 18 out of 22 for Columbus. Your 3 stars in this game, Reinhart, Monahan, and Spencer Knight. Columbus on the deserve to win-o-meter, 79.3%. So they had a very good game. They just didn't quite get the bounces. Elvis, not a fantastic night from him, but you know, for Columbus, again, tonight wasn't really as much about the hockey as the pregame and the closure that provides, as much as you can get. All right, I had to give the rabbits some food. They've been bugging me and jumping on my legs. All right, so we're going to talk about Minnesota and St. Louis now, and some kind of historic. I mean, when a goaltender scores a goal, it is historic for that goaltender especially. But it feels like we've seen that in hockey a bunch of times, even though it's only 15 times that we've seen a goaltender score in the National Hockey League's history. So, Minnesota in against St. Louis. Minnesota scores first in the first. It is Hartman on the power play from Kaprizov and Faber at 3 minutes and 50 seconds. That is the only scoring in the first period. The only scoring in the second period is again Minnesota. It's a shorthanded goal. It's Lauko from Huznadinov and Brodin at 7:52. So after 2 periods of play, St. Louis is down 2-0, even though they've only allowed 12 shots. And the game to that point had to be frustrating. Third period, in the first minute, Minnesota scores again. It's Marco Rossi from Zuccarello and Kaprizov at 46 seconds. St. Louis does break the shutout, though. It's Matthew Joseph from Bolduc and Broberg at 10:10. So Broberg with another helper tonight. But they pull the goalie, and it allows a goalie to get a goal. And it's officially a power play goal, apparently, too. Gustafsson at 19:51, a power play goal. So throw him on PP2. The Minnesota Wild win this one 4-1. They go to 2-0-2 with the win. St. Louis 2-2 with the loss. Your 3 stars in this one, Kaprizov, Gustafsson, of course, and Lauko. St. Louis on the deserve to win-o-meter, 54.6%. So, tough night for them. And again, it's the 15th goalie in history to get a goal, as Gustafsson saves 27 out of 28. Binnington saves 23 out of 26. I didn't go through the shots, did I? I'm tired. The shots in this one, 6-4 St. Louis in the first, 13-8 St. Louis in the second, 15-9 Minnesota in the third. Final shots, 28-27 for St. Louis. Power plays, Minnesota 2 for 5, St. Louis 0 for 2. Hits 30-29 in favor of the Minnesota Wild. That being said, now I need to change boards. All right, now the game with all the goals in it. Seattle and Nashville, and this is the surprising part. Apparently Nashville played well, just didn't get the breaks or the bounces. Seattle goes into Nashville and makes sure that things stay kind of, well, miserable. So Evans scores from Larson at 3:37 to put Seattle ahead. So Riker Evans with a goal there. Bjorkstrand adds one from Stevenson and Schwartz at 7:07. So it's 2-0 for Seattle, but Nashville fights back. McCarron from Parsonen and Carrier at 14:47, and then at exactly 17 minutes, Tommy Novak scores from Jankowski and Evangelista. That ties it at 2, but in the final minute, those last-minute goals can be tough. Tanev scores from Montour and Gord at 19:27. So it stays 3-2 for Seattle through most of the second period until at 17:17, Brady Shea scores his first in the Nashville jersey. O'Reilly and Forsberg with the assists. I don't call them sweaters because they haven't been sweaters for a long time. When they were wool and it was back in the 50s and stuff. Yeah, those I call sweaters. I have some, but yeah, they're jerseys now. Anyways, third period. Seattle lights things up. At 1:19, Jaden Schwartz scores from Bjorkstrand and Stevenson. At 2 minutes and 40 seconds, Eberle adds one. Eberle's been pretty good to start the season. McCann and Alexiak with the assists. And then at 11:57, McCann adds a goal. Beniers and Alexiak with the assists there. The Nashville Preds pull the goaltender to try to get something going, and at 17:56, Larson hits the empty net. Your final score in this one, 7-3. Seattle evens the record at 2-2. Nashville drops to 0-3 to start the season. I'm not doing a video on Nashville tomorrow before anybody asks. Shots on net, 13-12 Seattle in the first, 13-11 Nashville in the second, 11-8 Seattle in the third. Final shots, 35-33 for Seattle. Power plays, both teams 0 for 2. The hits, 28-23 for Nashville. Decord, 30 saves on 33 shots. Saros saves 28 out of 34. He had a rough first half last year. Hopefully he's not having a rough first half this year. Your 3 stars, Schwartz, Bjorkstrand, and McCann. But according to the deserve to win-o-meter, Nashville, 69.4%. So they had a good game. And again, they look like they had a good game against Detroit, but we'll see. I mean, Nashville needs to just keep playing through this. It's basically how it has to work. The teams that are losing a lot to start the season, you just kind of got to play through it, believe in your style, and not start getting desperate. If you start getting desperate and making mistakes, it can compound on itself pretty quickly. All right, next up, San Jose and Dallas. I wanted to put a trap magnet on this game so bad in the preview yesterday. And when I saw the score of this during the concert, I was like, man, I knew a trap magnet should have gone there. So there's no scoring in the first period. Second period, Tyler Toffoli scores at 6:24, so it's 1-0 San Jose. And then Duchesne ties it for Dallas from Marchment and Stankoven at 12:03. So there's Logan Stankoven with another point. At 15:12, Dellandrea scores from Sturm to put San Jose ahead again. So, right? And then Hintz would tie it exactly 2 minutes later at 17:12. Robertson and Johnston with the assists. There was no scoring in the third, despite there being 23 combined shots. There's no scoring in overtime either, so we go to the shootout. In the shootout, Matt Duchesne with the winner. Dallas survives this real trap game here. They go to 4-0 on the season. San Jose drops to 0-1-2 with the shootout loss. So they're getting points. They've got the same record as Vancouver, so there you go. If I had said, weekend of the season, San Jose and Vancouver will have the same start, people might have said, wow, San Jose's going to be not bad. Right, yeah. Shots on net, Dallas leads the way 10-9 in the first, 15-5 in the second, 12-11 in the third. San Jose outshoots them 2-1 in overtime. Final shots 38-27 for Dallas. Power plays, San Jose 0 for 3, Dallas 0 for 4. The hits, 33-19 for San Jose. Blackwood saves 36 out of 38. Ottinger saves 25 out of 27. Your 3 stars, Duchesne, Hintz, and Toffoli. Dallas on the deserved to win-o-meter, 74.3%. So it went to a shootout, but the right team won, if you believe in the deserved to win-o-meter. And I know there's people who don't, but still, Dallas gets the win. So, exhale. All right, next up. I'm just looking over the... Did some animal go after my board tonight? All right, anyways, when I'm not here, things are always kind of odd when we get back. Like, sometimes the cats are kind of weird. I don't know what happens when we're not here. All right, next up, Chicago and Calgary. So Calgary opens the scoring in this one, and Calgary's off to quite the start to the season, aren't they? Coronado scores from Kirkland and Anderson at 16:01. Don't look now, Justin Kirkland's a scoring star at the NHL. Goal in the last game, and assist in this one. There you go. Foligno would answer 10 seconds later by my count. Jones and Martinez with the assists. So it's 1-1 after the first period. Second period, it stays tied until 13:22, and on the power play, Kuzmenko gets his first goal of the season. Huberdeau and Zeri with the assists. In the third period, it stays a 1-goal game until the goalie pull. Coronado hits the empty net from Backlund at 19:21. Your final score is 3-1. Calgary's 4-0 for the first time in a very long time. The Chicago Blackhawks 1-2-1 with the loss. And again, showing they're not going to be an easy team to knock out. The shots in this one, 10-9 Chicago in the first, 12-11 Chicago in the second, 10-6 Chicago in the third. Final shots 32-26 for the Blackhawks. Power plays, Chicago 0 for 2, Calgary 1 for 3. The hits, 28-13 Calgary. Mrazek saves 23 out of 25. Wolf, 31 saves on 32 shots. He's the first star. Coronado's second star. Mrazek is the third star. Calgary does get the deserved to win-o-meter at 52.3%, meaning even though Chicago had more shots, the more dangerous chances on money puck were considered to be Calgary's. So, close game, but Calgary gets the win. And again, for Chicago, they're close. They're in these games. It doesn't feel the same as last year. All right. Moving on. The last game of the night, Philadelphia and the Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers are no longer winless, but man, how many disallowed goals are they going to have this year? Now, Michkov's goal counting, I'm not going to get into that because it's like 2 in the morning. I'm not getting into it. But I'm sure Edmonton fans have an opinion on the push and all that fun stuff. But anyways, Michkov's power play goal counts. Tippett and Frost with the assists at 4:46. And of course, there's an Edmonton goal in the first that doesn't count. Michkov then scores on the power play again at 9:21 from Frost and Konechny. So 2-0 for Philly after the first. Second period at 6:26, Adam Henrique gets the Oilers on the board. Janmark and Kulak with the assists, and then Edmonton ties it. At 14:01, Connor Brown scores from Skinner and Nurse. So Connor Brown not going without a goal for a long time to start the season. Good on him. But Philadelphia gets the lead back. It's Bobby Brink from Zamula and Farabee at 19:37. So it is 3-2 for Philadelphia after 2. Third period, Evan Bouchard finally gets his first goal of the season. McDavid and Draisaitl with the assists at 16:18. Crazy overtime. I watched the overtime how this ended. And Draisaitl would score from McDavid at 56 seconds as the teams exchange rushes. And Edmonton buries on theirs. Shots on net in this one. 12-7 Philly in the first, 11-10 Edmonton in the second, 13-8 Edmonton in the third. They had the only 2 shots of the overtime, including the shot that matters. Final shots 33-30 for Edmonton, so the shots are close. Power plays, Philadelphia 2 for 7, so I'm sure Edmonton fans have an opinion on that. Edmonton 0 for 4. And I don't say that because, you know, only Oilers fans would. Just 7 power plays is a lot more than anybody else had tonight. See, there's 5 for Minnesota in the game against St. Louis. Yeah, and then there's 5 for Tampa Bay against Vancouver. Yeah, 7. And again, Edmonton 0 for 4, which is not normal Edmonton number. Philly's penalty kill's pretty good. Hits 23-21 in favor of Edmonton. Ersson saves 29 out of 33. Skinner, good bounce back game, 27 saves on 30 shots. According to the deserve to win-o-meter, 51.6% for Edmonton, who go to 1-3. Philly drops to 1-1-1, which isn't bad considering a Western Canada swing to start the season and not much expected from Philly. So there you go. I think my voice is kind of strained from that concert tonight too. A lot of cheering and everything. And the guy sitting next to me at the concert, actually a subscriber. So it was kind of fun to talk a little bit of hockey in between acts, which we did a couple times. Anyways, there you go. I had a fun night. It was definitely worth it. I know it's really, really late. Tomorrow I'll be doing the preview in the morning for the Wednesday and Thursday games. And I will be here to review every game tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You guys know, well, Friday, there's only a few games, so I'm considering a date night, but I don't know. Anyways, thank you guys so much. It won't be a concert. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if the Warning, Evanescence, and Hailstorm are coming to your town in Canada, get tickets. I'm just saying right now, get tickets. It's an amazing concert. The energy from the Warning, the voice from Lizzie Hale, and then just the experience of Evanescence. Just perfect concert. All right. Thanks for your support. It's greatly appreciated. And for any subscribers who said hi to me tonight, thank you. That is always appreciated too. And it did happen a few times. I will talk to you again soon. I'm going to go to bed now.